Hey, we're proud to welcome an interesting guy in the studio. Interesting, his product is anyway. I think it's called VineyardFresh. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. VineyardFresh, wine preserver.
Dave Hall, founder of VineyardFresh. Did you come up with the idea for VineyardFresh?
I came up with the idea.
Okay.
Wow.
What exactly is your product? Explain it without getting too techno-sciencey geeky. What does it do?
Well, VineyardFresh wine preserver saves open wine from spoilage by preventing oxidation. It's argon gas, which is 1% of the air we breathe. It's heavier than air, so it lays a blanket. It just two quick bursts and lays a blanket of protection on the wine so the air never touches the wine.
That's one thing I was wondering about, because what you do is once you open the bottle of wine, you spray two quick pops of this in the neck of the bottle. I thought, well, it's just going to escape. But argon's heavier. So
argon's heavier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's also inert. And inert means no other molecule can stick to it. So it's all by itself. It can't saturate into the wine. The air can't dilute it. It just lays there as a blanket. And you don't need a lot. So if the wine bottle is low, you need the same two, or if it's full.
A question I have for you is this, though. I've always heard and believe myself that especially with red wine, you want to let it breathe. You want to let it open up a little bit to truly enjoy the flavors. Are you saying that's not
Well,
something
that's
you
the
should
interesting
do?
part of air. Air is good for wine and air is bad for wine. And so there are some wines we do need to have envelope. We do need to have them open up. But it doesn't take long. Let's take an apple. When you cut an apple, how long does it take to turn brown?
Right.
So
the
in an
oxidation
hour,
process.
you're going to eat the apple, but in a day later, you're going to say, I'm not going to eat that apple.
Right.
And that's kind of what happens to wine.
Definitely. And our Wave Wine Club members could definitely use this too. And, I have bottles of wine. I'll have them in my pantry or in my refrigerator to try to keep them fresh. I'm like, well, how do you do that? And this is an interesting product.
So the refrigerator really doesn't help because it's an oxygen thing, right?
Actually, coldness retards oxidation.
Ooh, okay.
So by
it
putting
does
it in
help.
the refrigerator, it does help.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of folks, like myself, say, well, gee, I rarely have anything left in the bottle. But for those folks who say, there's like a glass left, go ahead and finish it. You're saying this is for them.
Well, it is. Most people at the end of the day, or they've been having a bottle of wine, everybody's done drinking, but there's a little left in the bottle. And everybody says, oh, geez, there's a little bit left. Who wants it? Who wants it?
Finish it
and
off,
we're
right.
trained to say, oh, we have to finish it because we know it'll go bad. So this is a way in which it'll never go bad on you, and you'll always have a fresh glass of wine.
Now, I know recently there become more, what do you want to call them? Wine pubs, I guess, where they serve wine by the glass. They specialize in it. Do they use the same sort of thing? Do they use argon in their systems to keep it
There
fresh?
are many systems in the restaurant, large systems, that the bottles of wine fit into a machine, and they're plumbed with argon, and that's how they keep them fresh. We just happen to have a handheld version of that. Those machines that restaurants have are about $25,000
Right.
a piece.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
A little
The
expensive.
restaurants will buy our product for about $10.
And one of the biggest hurdles I think you have to overcome, I know the first time I picked it up, I'm like, well, there's nothing in here.
Yeah.
It feels empty.
It does feel empty. Full can does feel empty, but that's the nature of the product, and that's why it works.
Too bad we don't have any wine that we could try this with here.
Well,
right?
there's always some hiding around here somewhere, that's for sure.
Well, listen, Dan, I think what you need to do is you need to do the VineyardFresh Challenge.
What is the VineyardFresh Challenge?
Well, you take a bottle of wine, your favorite wine, whatever it is, have a glass,
Okay.
treat it, cork it, and put it away for 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever would wow you.
Really? That long?
We have customers that say, you know what, we were packing to go on vacation and I had a glass of wine. And we left on vacation, we came back, and I went, oh, my God, there was the wine. They treated it because they had VineyardFresh. And they said, oh, boy, I don't know, we've been gone for 2 weeks. And they come back, and they cannot believe that their wine was as fresh as when they were packing their suitcase.
Well, I will take the VineyardFresh Challenge.
Good.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, I do love wine. My wife, not so much as me. And, and what else this would be great for? Do you have, like, smaller containers of this?
Yes, we do. We just introduced a travel size.
Okay. Because
And-
you know what I'm thinking? You go to a restaurant, and it almost doesn't make sense to order wine by the glass.
Right.
It's ridiculously expensive. But like I said, my Mary Jo doesn't like the dry reds like I do. I could order a bottle, have a couple of glasses, take this with me, do the little thing in it, and take the bottle
Cork
home.
it and take it home.
Absolutely.
And it tastes good.
Absolutely. In fact, we supply restaurants with to-go bags.
Oh.
And the to-go bags conform to the laws, the state laws, which has to do with the tamper-proof seal.
Right.
So we have these very high-end bags. So when you walk out of a restaurant with Vineyard Fresh, who is using Vineyard Fresh, you'll walk out with a very beautiful black, rich-looking bag, not like a plastic bag your newspaper
Right.
comes in. And nobody sees it. It's discreet, and it conforms to the law.
Now, do you have a website or something we
Yes,
should
we
check
do.
out?
VineyardFresh.com.
That's easy enough to remember.
VineyardFresh.com. I'm going to take the Vineyard Fresh challenge too.
I bet you will.
Definitely. If you're a wine club member, I think this is something that you could definitely use. Vineyard Fresh and your website, vineyardfresh.com.
That's correct.
And you can join the wine club at 1073theway.net.
Absolutely.
Dave, I think you just changed my world.
Well, I hope so.
I'm looking forward to being a believer.
Let's enjoy
I'm gonna
fresh
try it out.
wine every time.
Vineyard
Absolutely.
Fresh challenge. Enjoy fresh wine every time.